Whether we like to admit it or not, some guys are just born genetically gifted. Whether it be their perfect facial symmetry, height, or wide clavicles, some guys just have an advantage. But in this video, I'm going to explain why being lean gives you an unfair advantage that isn't given at birth, but something you actually achieve. Let's be real with ourselves for a second. If you clicked on this video, I know you want to attract good-looking women and just improve the overall quality of your life. However, you're constantly blaming your failures on the fact that you think that the competition is just too high and that other guys are just taller, look better, and they somehow just know how to communicate with women way better than you. So in this video, I'm going to explain in 3 reasons why being lean just gives you an unfair advantage. Guys, I've been dating women for a while now, and I can confidently say that I've seen way more success in the recent years that I've been lean than any other time in my life. So when I got jacked for the first time, I made the mistake of getting too big and prioritizing my physique for the male gaze instead of the female gaze. So again, when I got jacked for the first time, I was sitting at around anywhere from 16 to 18% body fat, but I felt bloated all the time. My face was always puffy. I had a face full of acne. My clothes didn't fit me as well. I looked too big in my, my nicely fitted shirts, and I just didn't feel as good. Now, when I got lean, I got to that 10 to 12% body fat. That's where everything changed. That's where I finally got that V-taper. Women finally started to call me handsome and attractive. I felt good in my clothes. My nicely fitted tees fit me how they were supposed to. And I had a lot of energy. My face was clear and I just felt better overall. Now, again, like I said, when you're too big, you're going to fit the male gaze. You're going to look good from a male standard. But from a woman's point of view, you're going to pretty much be invisible. So to break this down, to make it easier for you guys to digest, I'm going to explain it in the 2 different types of gym bros. So gym bro number 1 is what we call the quote unquote pretty boy. He's always walking in the gym with a bad chick, a fresh cut, a nice calm fit, and he only does the exercises necessary to be aesthetically pleasing. Whereas gym bro number 2, he's walking in there, probably no cut, doesn't smell good, oversized tee, baggy shorts. He has the chalk, the pre-workout on deck, and he's in there doing powerlifting exercises, spending 2 hours in the gym, and he's doing a fucking circle jerk with his boys, right? So there's nothing wrong with gym bro number 2, but if you want to stand out from the rest of the crowd, you want to be, a woman's number 1 choice, you're going to want to be gym bro number 1. And again, gym bro number 1 is going to beat gym bro number 2 every single time. So yeah, guys, the first unfair advantage it's going to give you is going to be in the dating market. And I think part of the reason for this is because it kind of changes your outlook on certain things a little bit. Let me explain. So again, guys, when I was the biggest I ever was, when I was 16 to 18% body fat, my sole focus was on becoming as big as possible. I always told myself I wanted to get to 230 and then cut. But once I made that conscious decision to start to cut earlier, to 10 to 12%, that's when everything changed. I started to get more noticed by women. I started to get all the compliments. All the women would pretty much, it felt like they were just flocking to me at that point. So naturally, I started to go on more dates. I started to make less time for the gym and more time on things that, I centered my life around, like dating, my business, everything else, right? So I used that discipline that I got from the gym and I used it in my business. And then I also just started to prioritize my wardrobe. I started to actually, prioritize my hygiene and everything else. So that's when I became gym bro number 1 and slowly shifted away from gym bro number 2. So again, guys, like I said, once you get lean, all these things you're going to start to pay attention to a little bit more, and then you're going to pay attention to the gym a little bit less because you already know what it's going to take to get lean and, to get big and get jacked and everything like that. So at this point, you pretty much mastered the gym already. So the gym can run on autopilot. You get in, do the things that you need to do to be aesthetically pleasing, and then just get out. You're not in there for 2 hours anymore. You're not powerlifting. You're not doing any dumbass calisthenics moves to impress your boys. You're not doing anything that's unnecessary to you making gains in the gym. You're just in there to be healthy and aesthetically pleasing and that's it. So let's go back to the advantage that it gives you in the dating market. Guys, don't overcomplicate this. This is basic math. If majority of the population is out of shape and obese, and you're 10 to 12% body fat, you make up the 1%. Who do you think is going to be on her radar? Who do you think she's going to notice first? Obviously you. Guys, I can't tell you how many times I was out with a girl and she would tell me, you know, you're the most muscular guy I've been with. You know, you have such a great physique. None of the guys that I've dated had a physique like you, right? Now, they're not just saying it to stroke my ego. They're saying it because it's facts. It's true. Guys, I can bring a girl on here and have her go through Hinge or Tinder or whatever dating app it is and just scroll through so you guys can see from a girl's point of view what they're seeing and the type of guys that are actually going to pop up on there. The type of guys that, you know, a girl sees on a daily basis. Not only that, but the type of physiques that they have. I'm telling you, you guys are going to be shocked. You guys are going to be astonished because I'm like, when I say this is really a 1% physique, I really mean it. So yeah, if you're lean, chances are you're going to be her first guy that she's been with that's built like that. You're just naturally going to have that edge over most guys. Now, the second unfair advantage that being lean gives you is the fact that you're going to get that upfront respect from pretty much everybody that you meet. So when you're too jacked, you're too big, it kind of just tells everybody that you eat, sleep, and breathe the gym, and people just see you as another gym bro. Now, when you're lean, you're aesthetically pleasing. It gives off the effect that you still prioritize the gym, but you also do something productive on the side. You either run a business, go to school, you do something that's productive while still prioritizing your health and fitness. And, you know, that's pleasing to a lot of people. A lot of people can admire that and a lot of people can respect that. And it's not just going to be from random people that you meet in your day-to-day, but it's also going to be from people in places like work. For example, if your boss sits down, you and another colleague, and that colleague is, you know, just an average Joe, average physique, but you guys both have the same work ethic and you're lean, 9 times out of 10, your boss is going to promote you over that average Joe colleague simply because, again, a jacked, lean physique is going to exude discipline and hard work. And, you know, he's just going to assume that you're more equipped for the job because you look the part. Whereas the average Joe looks like everybody else in the building. And I can confirm this because this literally happened to me. Now, it didn't happen in that exact scenario, but it went like this. So guys, when I first started personal training, I started at a big box commercial gym. And then once I got lean, I got more clientele. I transferred over to training privately in Miami. So I went from training, you know, average citizens to literally training multi-millionaires privately. Because I changed my physique, I changed my appearance. So my clients in Miami just assumed that I knew my shit. They assumed that I was more fit for that job. You know what I mean? So you're going to literally upgrade your life by upgrading your appearance and your physique. You also get that upfront respect at social events like clubs, parties, concerts, etc. Guys, when you're lean and you pull up to a place with average people, everyone's going to assume that you can fight or you can at least defend yourself because you're built like a fighter. Guys, 90% of men can't fight or never been in a fight themselves, right? So obviously, everybody's going to assume that, you know, you shouldn't be messed with. And I'll be honest, you'll be more intimidating to the average citizen. I remember one time I was at Best Buy with one of my boys and he was jacked too. And we literally pulled up to get, I think it was an Apple Watch. And I guess they didn't have it in stock. So he said I raised my voice or whatever. I guess I raised my voice, but I said it in the most calm manner that I possibly could, right? So I was like, wait, what do you mean they don't have any in stock? And the guy was like, sir, calm down. Like he genuinely got scared. And from that point on, I knew that like, you know, I didn't have an average physique. Like I was so confused as to why he acted in defense mode so suddenly. But then I realized like, damn, I'm really the 1%. Me and my boy are literally the 1%. So of course he's going to get scared. I intimidated him a little bit. And that's not to say you're going to start walking around feeling all big and bad, but you're going to be more confident in knowing that you can hold your own against most guys. Women are going to feel more safe around you and more people are going to naturally want to be around you. This last one is less of an advantage and more of a result of being lean. And it's the fact that most men will envy you. And that's the hardcore truth, right? Most guys want what they can't have. And they understand that when they see you, they see discipline, they see consistency. And quite frankly, they just don't have that. They don't have enough willpower to go to the gym 5 to 6 times a week and optimize their diet in order to get lean. And the fact that you can, it just boils their blood. It gets under their skin and they show it. For example, look at the black pill motherfuckers. I made a video the other day talking about how body game beats the black pill, and those guys got furious. They flooded my comment section with, bullshit. And here's the thing, guys. I never said your face doesn't matter, right? But they're so deeply ingrained in that bullshit ideology that they miss the fact that I really said, once you get lean and aesthetic, your face will improve too, thus making you attractive and handsome in the process, right? But again, they miss that part because they're so deeply ingrained in the black pill. And it's crazy too, because a lot of those guys, quite frankly, don't even get women themselves. If you go in the forums, if you go on their Reddit pages, you'll see most of it is just men rating other men. They're like, hey bro, what do you think my face is? Rate it on a scale of 1 to 10. And they go in depth with their fucking, dumbass ratings and everything like that. But I digress. Guys, whenever you become lean, most men will hate you. They will envy you. Like I said, they want what they can't have. They'll go the extra mile just to piss you off. I've had a guy go as far as to sabotage my chances with a girl. He went to talking and saying that I'm a cheater or, I won't be good for her or anything like that. And she believed him, sabotage my chances with her. So it's just like, guys will envy you, bro. They will literally hate you because you are lean, bro. It sounds crazy, but I can't make it up. Some of the jobs that I used to work at, there would be guys, whenever I would bring my meal prep into work, there would be guys cracking jokes like, oh, he's eating that dog food. Or, when family comes over, they'll be like, oh, what are you eating? Chicken breast and rice? Like, it's the little subtle jokes, right? But every joke has a meaning to it, has some truth to it, right? So, yeah, man, there's just guys that are going to envy you, bro. That's just what it is. Yeah, man, you're literally the 1%. Everybody's going to have something to say about you. Everybody's going to want to be like you. But that's just what you're going to have to go through once you become lean. But all right, guys, that was it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, I need you guys to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, guys, if you truly want to make 2026 your year and finally get that lean aesthetic physique that you've been striving for, click the link in the description, book a call, and I'm going to see if you're a good fit to work with me. But until next time, guys, I'm out.